What's up guys, I'm Akila. Welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be doing this makeup look, which is to me my rendition of Soft Glam. I'm so happy that natural glam is a thing right now. Like, even though I tried to do like cut creases or more sculpted looks, it just really wasn't me, or to me it just didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. Seeing this whole trend of soft glam is just like everything to me right now. If you know any of my other content, you know I pretty much keep it on the soft side, so this isn't really anything new to you guys, but I wanted to do a tutorial for you guys. So if you would like to see how I got this look, please keep on watching. Okay, anytime I'm doing like a soft glam look, which I feel like is all the time, because I feel like soft makeup is just the way I like to wear my makeup. But for me, the way you prep your skin before you put on makeup can make or break your look. So I'm going to go ahead and give my skin everything it needs before I apply any type of makeup. Well, besides my brows, like that comes first. I realized when I use the e.l.f. Happy Hydration Cream prior to putting on my makeup, it really helps. It kind of evens out like my foundation. I use a kind of a matte foundation, and this gives it a beautiful finish. I'm sure any face cream would work, but this is the one that did it for me. Like, even though I'm combo oily, I feel like my skin still needs a good layer of hydration before I put on foundation, because if you give your skin what it needs, it's not going to like overwork and like produce more oil. So I make sure I go in with a really good moisturizer, and then from there I use the All the Feels facial oil, also by e.l.f. Back in the days, like, I just knew I had oily skin and I would try to use any product that said matte in it. As time went on and doing my makeup, I realized that I wasn't really doing my skin any justice by using those extra drying products like the Becca Evermatte Poreless. That thing will suck you dry. But I could understand if like that's what you need to get through a full day. I get it. Okay, with that on, you could pretty much use a primer. I don't have a favorite primer. Yeah, I wanted to use the matte Poreless Putty primer, but I can't find it right now, so I'm just going to use the original one just to fill in my pores. Like, I'm very porous on my cheeks. My chin is my chin is probably fine, but it's mostly like my cheeks. Put some on my nose. Like, I really love the matte Poreless Putty primer. It like gives you like an airbrush finish, but I don't know where it is. With my skin prepped, and like that's pretty much it that I do before I put on my foundation. I'm going to contour. Usually I will contour after my foundation is on, but I find that my makeup looks a lot more effortless, and it doesn't really have any harsh lines if I do my contouring underneath my foundation. So I'm using the ColourPop No Filter foundation stick. This is in Deep Dark 197W, and I just put it in all the places I would contour if I was doing it on top of my foundation. And then even though I'm doing this, like, you guys will see that I still go in with like bronzer and stuff just to add on to it. I'm going to use a dense brush. This brush, I got it in my BoxyCharm, so I have no idea how to get another one or to even link it at the bottom for you guys. Another thing I like to do when I'm blending it, so I don't drag the foundation down, I flick upwards. Even though it looks crazy right now, like once I put on the foundation, it would make sense. If you wear wigs like I do, like, make sure to kind of get it on your lace, because you don't want that lace to be like shining when you take photos. I know some people do their brows afterwards, but throughout the years I've gotten really good at avoiding them when I'm doing my makeup, so they don't get in my way. I like to like put the base of my eyebrows down, and then as I'm done and completed with my makeup, I complete my brows, so they're not in their final form yet. Okay, and now I'm taking this domed brush. This is by Morphe. It's a R33 brush, and I just blend out this contour. I take it into my brow in my eye socket. It just helps everything blend better once you like blend it into your brow. And because I'm so moisturized, like all the products are just gliding onto my skin, I'm not having a hard time, or nothing's like dragging and pulling. And then I also shorten the end of my nose and then add a little shadow underneath my lip. Okay, now we could get into foundation. Of course, if you've seen any of my videos before, you know that we're using the Dose of Colors Mitra Hue foundation. I wear dark 129. This is my favorite foundation, and of course I'm blending it in with a Juno sponge. Okay, and then from there I just pat everything in. And the reason why I like Juno sponges when it comes to like blending out foundation and concealer, because of the bristles or like the little felt texture on the sponge. Let me show you guys up close. Yeah, it allows me to apply more coverage than using like the typical sponge, because this sponge doesn't suck up any product. It just evenly disperses and blends everything out. And they're only $6, so if you want to give it a try, the link is down below. And because of the Juno sponge, this is just one pump of foundation. Like, it goes a long way. And like, I still have foundation left over. Okay, so for concealer, we're using the Dose of Colors concealer. This is in 21 Dark. If you want like a really good drugstore concealer, I would use the Loreal Full Wear concealer. This was my favorite concealer of 2019. So yeah, this concealer is just a bomb. So I'm just gonna put it in all the places that people normally put concealer. I'm gonna blend out everything besides under my eyes. I want my under eyes to kind of set a little bit. I pretty much use the same sponge doing my whole face, because like my foundation's already on here. It kind of just helps everything just tone down and kind of look cohesive. Like all the colors just look like they go together. So I also do my nose with my sponge. I just pinch the sponge and I just pat up into this area in between my brows. Okay, now I'm ready to do my under eyes, and I kind of just start from the outer corners and work my way in. Like, for some people, you probably won't want to drag the concealer so far back, but I could fix that if it goes too far. You could also like have some tissue in front of you just to tap your sponge in to take off any excess product. I go over my eyelid as well, because I don't really use a eye base. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and set my face. I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose powder. I'm using banana, and I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes before it creases. And I like to take the excess powder and tap it on the back of my hand before I go in. Before I do this eye, I want to make sure all the creases are gone. And now I'm gonna set. And lately I've started to like to carve out my cheeks, so I just go like that. And since I contoured under my foundation, I don't have to do that. I just add some bronzer. As you guys can see, like, I pretty much use my sponge for everything. Okay, now before things get like really dry and cakey, I'm going to go ahead and kick off this powder. To kick off my powder, I use the Sephora Micro Smooth on a brush. I'm using it in Deep 56 Mahogany. I think this is like the second darkest shade, so that this is like a powder brush. I got it at Walmart. It's not expensive. And then I just make sure my face is set. To me, this looks dry, so after I'm done with my bronzer, I'm going to spray my face. My favorite bronzer is the L'Oreal Paris Bronze Please. You can find this at Walmart. I'll just try to link everything down below for you guys to be able to find it easily. Okay, so I tap into my forehead. This brush is just a random brush I got on Amazon, so I'll link the set, but the whole set isn't great. It's just like select few brushes that I really like. And then I go in, like I stamp it in first and then just make sure it's all blended. Like bronzer is like one of my favorite things about doing my makeup. It kind of like just warms the face up and just makes it look so good. Like if you look ashy and cakey, bronzer is your friend. Cause like, look how much better I look from before. Okay, I take the same bronzer on a brush and I'm gonna like start from like my brow and then work its way down. Like you see how my brow looks a little rubbed off? I'll go back in and I'll fix that. I also have a pimple in my freaking brow, so that just makes it look even worse. Okay, so yeah, my camera cut off, but I got on Too Faced lip injection while I do the rest of my makeup. I'm using the MAC Fix Plus. This is in coconut, and I just go over my face to add some moisture back and take away that powdery look. I even spray my brush, not my brush, my sponge, and I just go in and pat everything in. Okay, for today's Soft Glam look, we're gonna use the Amrezy palette. Even though when you look at this palette, you just think of like it being a pink palette, but there's so many neutral options in here. And I used it for like some of my pictures, like my birthday pictures that aren't out yet, but I really love this palette for neutral shades. Okay, so we're gonna start with, I don't even, between these two, I really don't know which one I like more. New Yorker and OG, I really don't know. We're gonna do New Yorker today. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be like my first pre-shade. And I'm using it on a Morphe M504 brush. It's a very fluffy blending brush. And I'm gonna just tap and like blend. Soft Glam to me is effortless, so of course I'm not going to do a cut crease. I just want a nice soft blown out eye, and that's pretty much my preference all the time. Okay, now we're gonna use 1988. I'm gonna tap it into my outer corner right here, and then I'm gonna bring it into the fold right here. I'm not gonna take it all the way to the inner tear duct. I'm just gonna like leave it 3/4 of the way. Oh, and this is like a little luxy brush. It's called the mini tapered brush. I got it in BoxyCharm, and it's good for like a little detailed work or to pat on shades like I'm doing right now. And then for me, from there, I take the brush I used for my crease and blow that out a little bit. Like, I know I didn't put it on neatly, but when you blend, it will fix it. And I kind of like flick my shadow out like this because I like that elongated eye look. I also want to put 1988 on my lower lash line. I'm using a Morphe M321 brush, and it's kind of like a dense pencil brush, and I'm just going to pat that on my lower lash line. Like, the thing I like about this palette. Most palettes will stop at this shade, if that, like as their darkest shade. There's still a black and there's still a darker brown after this. So this palette is very universal. Like I feel like a lot of people would be able to get a look out of this palette. And from there we're going to use Gorgina, which is this bronze shade right here. It's such a pretty bronze color. Like you don't really see colors like this that often, like in a palette. You usually just get a gold and that's it. And then this is a flat Wet n Wild shader brush. You can find this at Walgreens, I think. And then I just tap it in and I kind of go over that darker color a little bit. And I'm gonna go back in with my same brush from my crease. I kind of blend this out. Like I don't want any harsh lines. I just want everything to be smoked out and blurred, like no harsh lines. I'm gonna add some of that bronze shade to my lower lash line too. Okay, so this is pretty much my eye look, but I want to go in with some of like the Artist Couture diamond light finishers. I feel like this will take the eye to another level. We're gonna use diamond bronze. Okay, these work best when you tap out a little bit on the back of your hand and warm it up with your finger. You guys can see that. It's a very sparkly eye topper. I just want to put that on top of Gorgina. Like look how that took it to the next level. I know I want to wear liner, but like, do I want to wear black in my liner? I don't think I am this time. I think I'm going to use like a bronze color since I'm kind of going for like a bronzy look. I'm going to use ColourPop's Overboard Gel Liner to put in my waterline. I'm gonna warm it up on the back of my hand before I go in with it. Like these pencils are really good, like they're super creamy. I think we're gonna go more for like a blown out liner, so I'm not going to use like my typical liquid liner. I hope I don't regret this. Okay, so let me find a black pencil. Okay, so I found my Sephora pencil that I like. This is the Sephora waterproof pencil. It's a sample, so until this is done, this is just what I'm going to be using. I need to buy the full size one. Let me warm it up on the back of my hand. Yeah, this is a lot more smooth. I'm going to leave this little baby wing for right now, and then I'm going to just blend that out. This is a smudger brush by Moda. You can find Moda at Walmart. Like I'm wishing I didn't really drag it out into a wing, but it looks very sultry and smoky. I'm gonna work on my lashes. I'm gonna put some DOU glue on some Lilly lashes. Like these been through a lot. I need a new pair. I usually like the brushed DOU glue, but I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to use this. Recently I've started using the NYX's High Glass collection, and I love the way it makes my skin look. So I'm going to put some of that on a large powder brush and just put that onto my skin. I don't put it on my under eyes. I just focus on everything below that. And I put it on my forehead as well. I even drag it onto my chest because it's a little bit darker than me, so it kind of makes me look bronze and tan. Okay, yeah, this is NYX High Glass in Golden Hour, and I feel like this is just like the perfect highlighter. I've noticed that gel consistency highlighters look more natural than powder, so this just gives me the perfect amount of glow that I want. Okay, so my camera died on me while I was fighting with my lashes. They're still not perfect, but I'm gonna fix these brows. I'm gonna use the Lime Crime Bushy Brow Pen. And I'm also going to use the brow gel. Okay, for blush, I'm using this KKW Karma blush. Like, I'm obsessed with it. What I remember from Jackie's video or just seeing any soft glam look, pink blush is pretty much the way to go. This one's more on the burgundy side, but this is my favorite one. And like, I just focus a lot on the cheek. And then pull it back. And if it ever looks too harsh, I take my powder brush and dull it down. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. and Nabella highlighter. And then now we can move on to lips. I'm using KKW Nude 3 pencil. This is my favorite. Pretty much everything today I use is one of my favorite products. I do overline my lips. Okay, I'm using KKW He's a Mixer lipstick from the Mario collection. This lipstick, compared to all of her other lips, is a little more on the matte drying side. Yeah, and I can't wear this on its own because it's really pale. But when I mix it with this liner, it evens it out perfectly. And then from here, we could add some gloss. I'm going to use the Artist Couture Le Freak gloss. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is my version of soft glam, and this is pretty much my go-to look. You guys will be seeing it again. I think this is going to be the makeup look that I wear on my birthday. It's just perfectly me. Like, I know some people like to go all out and try new things on their birthday, but for me, I just want to look like my favorite version of myself, which is soft glam. So if today's video was helpful for you, or you like this kind of format of me doing a makeup tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts below on soft glam makeup. If you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.